Well. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Workstation Wednesday, where today, as the title suggests, we're continuing working on the Booknook. But today's going to be a quicker video, an easier video. I know it's supposed to be a casting update. Casting's going pretty good. I was able to cast not as many times as I wanted. I was a little bit busy in the week, but I got close. I wanted to do 2 a day. I averaged around 1.5 a day, which is, hey, it's something. But today we're going to take one of the pieces that we casted in the dental stone, particularly the wood one, and this is a dental stone, not plastic, and we're going to be making a door out of this. So what we will need for today is we will need these jeweler beads I got from, I want to say, the hobby store or the dollar store. I'm not quite sure where I got these from. We'll need some trusty scissors. Got some needle nose pliers because I have no dexterity in my fingertips. And then you need a little piece of cardstock. I got this from, I want to say, Hot Pockets. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I got. You don't need a whole lot. This is just a little bit. And I kind of already cut it to the size of the, well, roughly to the size of that. We'll need some gel super glue. It doesn't matter what kind you get, but this is from the dollar store, 90 cents a piece. That's what I use. And then also, if you wanted, instead of using the cardboard for the flashing on the door, you could also use a zip tie, and if you just cut off the 2 sections and put that on there, that could look real nice as well. So I'm not going to be using this, but just know that that's an option. Okay, so where do we start? Well, oh, wait, we need one more thing. Where'd it go? Here it is. Oh, it's so tiny. I almost lost it. Hold on. We'll need one of these. I don't know if you can see that or not. But it's a jewelry ring. These are used for like clamping stuff to necklaces or something like that. My wife used to make jewelry, so that's why we have a whole bunch of these. But this is going to be the actual door handle to get into the door. So we'll put that like right there. Let's see how long that stays there, huh? Oops. Okay. So with this cardstock, right? Again, I cut it out roughly to the size of this, and this is a 1-inch block. So I'll cut it out roughly. In my opinion, this is a dungeon. Not everything is well kept. I don't want this to be exactly perfect, right? It's okay if it's a little over or a little under. Totally all right. This is a 1-inch square, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. The only thing that we need to keep in mind when we're cutting this is that it's big enough, but not too big, to fit one of these beads. So if we see the beads, probably about right, I would say right there. So what we'll do is we'll take the cut that we just did and see if the bead's big enough to fit on there. Actually, hold on, let me zoom in here for you. Let me zoom in. So if we put this on here, you can see that it's just big enough for the bead. Take the other side, just big enough for the bead. Now, again, this is, you can go a little bit smaller, or if you want, you can go a little bit bigger. Again, we're not cutting super straight here. This is just, just to have it on there. So then we have just a little bit bigger, if you see that. A little bit bigger. So that's the other option we can do. So those are the 2 options that we can do. But then the last piece that we would need is we would need a hinge part, or a spot for the actual knob. So we'll take the ring and we'll put it on there. I think I like this side better, so just so it's a little bit bigger. Again, I'm not using any measurements here. This is all by eye. But if we put that on there, you can kind of see that's a pretty good handle right there. It's a pretty good handle. So that's what we're going to do. So we have the handle piece cut here. Handle piece is now cut. These little rings, I don't want to get picked up. And again, you can probably hear my heater in the background. It is what it is. So yeah, let's cut off another one. I think I like this one better. You could go thin like the first one, but I think I want just a little bit thicker on there. So what we could do to kind of make them the same size is you can line them up like this. All right, hold them right there at the tips. Then you take your inside of your scissors and you just cut down the bottom. Now again, it won't be perfect, but that's all right because we don't need them to be perfect. If it's a little too fanny like that for you, just take this and cut off a little more. Just like that. There, and we have our two pieces to our door. Back up here a bit. Alright. So we'll be back to these in a second, but let's move this out of the way. And now we have a door. Okay, so the reason why we did this is that at the bottoms, we'll put them there. Put them there. You know, these are just like a hair too long. I'm going to trim just a bit off. No measurements. Again, we're trying to make it actually a little... Yeah, a little off this one too. We're trying to make it a little bit rugged because this isn't a dungeon. Dungeons aren't perfect, right? And then we want it just a hair up from the bottom. Just a hair. There. Something like that. Just so we have a little bit of wood peeking through from both sides. And then what we'd have is we'd have this right here. Something like that. Now I'm not gluing these on yet. These are just being placed here just so we can kind of see. So that would be, let me zoom in. That would be our door. That's a pretty good looking door, I think. But we're going to put these studs on there as well. But just so we can kind of see how it all would look if we put it together. You could even, if you wanted, leave it like that. And not add studs. Because some people don't like the studs, or maybe they like the simplistic view of this. But to me, I think I like this, but I like the studs too. So we're going to go ahead and add the studs. But first, we got to take all these pieces off. Take the pieces off. We got our gel super glue, right? Now, with the gel super glue, the reason why we're using the gel and not regular is that the gel has... it's a little thicker, so it's a little easier for us to manage, and we don't need much on here, and sometimes this stuff likes to shoot out, so just be careful. Maybe? There it is. Okay. Yeah, sometimes this stuff likes to shoot out, so just be real careful with it. Get it all over your fingers or something. So we'll start at one end. We don't need much. You don't need much. We'll grab this, put it on one side, then the other. The other thing you want to be careful with when you're working with super glue, you don't glue your fingers together. It won't be the end of the world, but it'll kind of suck taking them apart. Super glue doesn't take very long to dry either, so we're just kind of tapping it with this so it kind of stays in place. Now we'll do the other side. Oops. We'll do the other side. Again, being really careful not to get any on our finger. Just it's a gentle squeeze, and we're just kind of racing down the track here. Oh, I think I got a little on my finger right there, which isn't the end of the world. Just be careful, like really get it off of there before you touch anything. I probably put this side up a little too high, but we're committed now. I reckon. No, it's on there now. That's all right. That's all right. Personally, I probably would have put it down a little bit lower, but that's not too bad. It'll be all right. And then what we'll do is we'll put the handle on here. Now you can put the handle on whichever side you want. You can put it on this side, or you can put it on this side, whichever side you want. But I think we're gonna put it on this side. Doors are pretty versatile in which way they open, so I wouldn't worry too much about which side you put your handle on. So with this one, it's a little bit different. So we're going to grab it with our prongs like this, place it on there, and then kind of center it as best as you can before pressing it down. It's okay if your little block is a little bit bigger than this. That's all right. You can kind of push it in if you want. And then when it's really dry, you can really get it in there. All right. So the hardest part in my opinion is going to be the door handle and then all of the little bitty decals. So with this, what we're going to do is we're going to put down a little bitty bead. A little bitty bead of the gel super glue, just right there. Then we're gonna grab our door handle here, and we're gonna drop it on there. I would like it to face the other way, but it looks like that's just the way it's gonna face, and that's okay. It's okay if it doesn't go exactly where you want, but as long as it's on there, it should be all right. We're going to put a little bit of glue over top of this now. And then we're just going to leave that there. We're just going to leave it. Oops, there you go. Something like that. So, just going to leave it like that. Once it's fully dry and we paint over it, it's going to be great. Okay, so don't worry too much about it. But now we got to put on these little bitty I don't know what they're called. They're gems, but like they're jeweler gems or bejeweled or whatever you want to call it. So now we're going to put a single dot of the gel on. Basically, we're going to go per stud. So wherever there's a stud, that's where we're going to want one of these. And for this one, I think I'm going to use these. They're a little bit stronger, and I can be a little bit less precise with them. And then, just like we did before, we're going to give these a little bit of a press. Just press them down a little bit. And there we go. And we're going to do that all the way across. So let's do the next one. Put that here. Come on. There we go. Don't need a whole lot with these little bitty gems. I guess technically they're self-adhesion. They're self-adhering, but I never had any luck with them. So we'll put it like that. Oops. Come back here, you. This is very delicate work, but it doesn't need to be. You can be as rough and tough as you want. And for the ones that don't stick on there very well, after you do this, you could... Okay. Hold on. We got a wisecracker here. I think he's cracking some wise. There we go. What you can do is press it down a little bit like this, and then just put a little dollop over top of it, like we did over there. Doesn't need to be a whole lot. Just something to get it adhered to the actual wood. Again, these don't have to be perfect because they're in a dungeon, and dungeons are usually gross, unkept places. So yeah, just think of it like that. Oh, flying out of there. See, these are probably the hardest part to actually get on there. So that's why if you want to skip this step, totally understandable. Totally understandable. No one would blame you. All right, one more for the top row. We're almost there. Home stretch. All right, then we grab the top one here. Put that there. And now bottom half. The Booknook is going pretty good though. The castings, I'm pretty happy with them. There's a few that I wish I did a little bit better. Maybe I took a little bit more time on the shake table. But overall, I'm pretty happy with them. So, cannot complain about that. I am a little worried that everything might not come together, but you know, that's just normal. You put all this time into this and then you hope it actually looks good. And then you know, find out that it doesn't, or something went wrong, and you got no one to blame but yourself. But you know what? That's all right. You know what I mean? That's a good, healthy thing. It's all right to feel that way. You don't need to feel like that, but it's okay if you do. It's all right. Everybody gets sad. Everybody gets mad. That's just the way life is. But it's how you get yourself back up. That's what matters. All right, so we're gonna push this up one more time. I think there we go. We're getting real low on the super glue there. All right, so here we go. Let's back up. Actually, no, let's keep it like this. Let's keep it like this. So there she is. There's the door. We have some rivets. We have the metal beams, or the metal flashing. I think it came up pretty good. This is a good looking door. So to kind of show you what the door looks like, I have done some tests on the plastic ones and the resin ones. So this is kind of what it would look like. Let me get my hand out of the way here. This is kind of what the wood is going to look like. This is a little sneak peek, but you can kind of imagine. You can kind of imagine this on this, except those are going to be painted silver, maybe with a little bit of a wash over them. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, that's going to be the door, and that's again, it's on the plastic, not the dice stone. But another close look at the door here, and maybe in another video I'll cast this door. I'll cast it, and we'll have a whole bunch. We'll have this door forever. Maybe I'll use plastic instead of the this dental stone here, just to be safer. But yeah, that's the video. It actually turned out to be much longer than I thought it was going to be. Spending 20 minutes talking and making this little bitty door. But you know what? That's the point of crafting. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how long it takes you, as long as you're having fun doing it. This is just a little hobby of mine. If it takes me 2 years, if it takes me 3 years, it is what it is. I'll be happy with it nonetheless. And until the next video, everyone, I'll see you all later. Peace out.